Welcome everyone, I'm Untitled the Hero, and today our topic is the open world action-adventure RPG Mad Max. The game was developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment in September 2015 for Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic world full of deserts, canyons and caves. The player controls Max Rokatansky as he tries to get revenge on the raiders and their leader Scabrous Scrotus for stealing his valuables. In his quest for revenge, he gets help by the black-fingered Shumbucket, who aims to build the ultimate car, the magnum opus. The game's modus operandi, to continue using Latin phrases, is heavily focused on vehicular traversal and combat. Though these are more or less expected of modern open-world games, I'd like to point out a couple of things about the combat. While the usual drive-by shooting is possible thanks to Max's shotgun, the game also introduces the Harpoon, Thunderpoon and Mounted Sniper Rifle. I'd hope I don't have to explain how a Harpoon works, but just in case, you fire the thing. If it lodges into something you can try to pull it, if it doesn't you reload. The Thunderpoon is a bit different. It's not tied to the harpoon gun because it's effectively a stick with explosives on it. As for the sniper, it's what you'd expect, save for the fact that you can't use it from Max's person. And now that we're talking about Max's person, when you're on foot, you only have the shotgun with you when it comes to firearms. But along with that, you can also use Max's hands and the melee weapons taken from the raiders to attack in short-range combat. You can also shift people as a means of finishing them. Whilst fighting, Max can dodge and parry attacks, though the window for perfect parries are a bit picky. Or maybe I'm just bad at them. Going back to the fighting mechanic, holding down the attack button produces a slower but stronger attack, and there's also the game's Fury meter, which, when filled, makes Max's attacks more powerful and reduces the damage taken. But so far I've only spoken about the fighting, so how about we move into the customization? Both Max and the magnum opus are upgradable and customizable. You can buy Max new jackets and gloves, which might increase his stats. You can give him different hairstyles, and you can buy him tools and combat techniques. The magnum opus is a bit more customizable, what with being able to change its body and its color. You can also buy better engines, tires and such for it. You can also get hood ornaments for it, which might increase certain stats like speed. In the game, you can help the rulers of different parts of the land by improving their strongholds and freeing their territory from Scrotus's men. The game goes about this by making you go to their base and either blowing up the oil well, blowing up the oil storage, or just beating up the people in the base. The game also thought of people like me and included a camera mode that is more detailed than usual. Then again, the usual translates to none at all, so I suppose I don't have my bar high. But back to topic, you can pause the game and move around the camera freely. You can also adjust smaller details like focus, filters and FOV. This mode also comes in a pair, as there's also a video mode which is more or less the same, but you get back to normal gameplay, save for the HUD which is absent. In this mode, controlling the camera is a bit harder because it requires a second controller and a person to accompany it. Now that I'm done talking about these, I suppose I'll show you some pictures of taken with the camera mode. The game features some Survivor-ish elements, but they are not too annoying. Shields and ammo get used up, but they are easy to refill. You also need to watch your flask because it empties rather fast, but every base has at least one place to refill it, and even then it only starts to refill your health, as well as both dog food and worms. The game also has sandstorms, which, in certain circumstances, easily end with Max's death. I quite enjoyed the game's graphics. If I had to point out something about them, it would be how footprints stay in the sand for some time. As for sounds, everything's in the right place, really. I can't really comment much more. And now that we're here, then what do I think of Mad Max? Well, I had a lot of fun with the game. While the fighting mechanic wasn't the most reliable when it came to borderline cases and the repetition might not be fine with a lot of people, I enjoyed it. I liked how they gave attention to small details, I liked the RPG parts, and I liked things that are unnecessary in the end, like the camera mode. The ending, on the other hand, I didn't like that much, but not to go into spoiler territory, I'll leave it as that. So, what do I give Mad Max? Well, I believe it's fair if I give the game 9 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this video, and with that, goodbye.